So my presentation is on the Asian Development Bank. So the Asian Development Bank was established in the early 1960s as a financial institution in Asia. And however, we do have to think back and remember that Asia was not what it is today as a financial superpower. In Asia back in the 1960s, it was almost a third world country with the amount of GDP and how much it has increased to this day. It has been substantial. Also, the establishment was founded in order to increase financial growth in Asia, which during this time, it was a very poor region. It mainly relied on farming. That was its biggest export, and it was so just behind the times and not westernized at all. And it's made such a big change so rapidly with the help of this Asian Development Bank. And lastly, they tried to increase and support economic growth by providing projects to help the general population of Asia. So the membership and qualifications. So right now, currently, there are 67 countries from all over the world that are a part of this Asian Development Bank. And these are countries even like the United States is a member, and Japan is actually the biggest member of this organization, donating a major portion of their budget every year. And actually Japan is the biggest contributor to the Asian Development Bank every year, which is surprising over China. And then also this bank accomplishes many problems throughout the year, and it's like big stuff too. It's not just economical and finance, it's through the bigger picture for the greater good of society. And they do really help a large group of people throughout Asia. So the goals of this development bank are to, of course, encourage economic growth in the economy and make Asia a world superpower and be caught up and westernized with the rest of the world. Also, its another goal is to limit the amount of pollution in the environment, because this is such a problem with the smog in China and people walking around with masks all the time because the air quality is so bad that they want to help this and limit the amount of pollution in the environment. Also, they want to make sure that everyone is fed and not living in poverty. However, this is practically impossible. They want to make the number of people living in poverty as low as it possibly can get in order to have everyone just have a greater quality of life. And lastly, they want to help more groups of people gain rights in society. Some religious groups that are persecuted, as well as women, do lack rights, and they wanted to create projects in order to help them gain more rights as development bank in Asia. So some of the successes of this Asian Development Bank was in the early 2000s, when influenza was a problem. They decided to help economically at regional and national levels by providing them funds. So in order to purchase more vaccines, PPE equipment for the doctors, and just being able to take care of its own people a lot more, this Asian Development Bank really helped economically, locally and nationally, to try to help curb this issue to get the economy back on track. Also, the bank was able to limit poverty levels, which haven't been seen in years. It almost cut the poverty rate in China in half, which was unheard of because of the amount of people living in poverty. To limit it to half, 50% of that, just take that out of people living in poverty and get them above the poverty line. That was huge because it increased the quality of people's lives. And then lastly, another success is they helped their economy recover after the Great Recession of 2008 faster and more efficiently than anyone would have thought possible, and even faster compared to the US as well. Some of the failures, though, however, do include that they have not done when it comes to providing citizens of Asia with electricity, which is still a basic westernized first world country kind of sort of luxury that we do take for granted here. A lot of people in late Asia are currently living without electric, which is a problem. And however, the Asian Development Bank has done a good job with this. They still could do a better job and push their efforts further in order to provide them with electricity. Also, people live on or just below the poverty line. It's a lot of the people. They aren't really comfortable. They're living paycheck to paycheck. And however, this is better than what it has been. They can do a lot more to try to help them have a little bit of stability and safety when it comes to their finances. And then lastly, a failure could be they need to do a better job of giving out food to different regions of Asia. because children in Asia are very malnourished, and a very high percentage of children compared to the rest of the Western world are malnourished in Asia. So if they're able to provide more funding to be able to get food for the different regions in Asia, that would be outstanding, and that would really help a lot of people. And then lastly, where is this organization going today? It is still running and in a very good position throughout Asia and actually even throughout the world. It has many projects on the horizon that could tackle problems that directly affect Asia, such as the power problem, like I talked about in the failure slide, as well as it could help just more people get out of the poverty line and then increase the distance that they are from the poverty line, so that even though if they missed a paycheck, they wouldn't have to sell everything in order to live that life. And then lastly, if the funding and membership stays where it currently is, the organization will have had so much good through the projects that it has, and the Asian economy and the Asian just way of life and the way that people live will be greatly increased, which is why this Asian Development Bank has done so much good and hopes to do so much good in the future. And here are my sources, and thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Bye.